What's up, and welcome to episode 3 of the G Vegas Gridiron Podcast, home of the best fantasy football league in the world, definitely in the country, definitely here in South Carolina, absolutely here in the upstate. Today, we are joined by our none other than Luke Maverick Brooks, living down there in the most beautiful place on earth, Birmingham, Alabama. Luke, how are we doing tonight, dude?
Man, I could not be better. I'm just better than I deserve, as my favorite mentor and inspirational leader, Dave Ramsey, says. I know him as David, but I'll call him Dave.
Sir
But no,
Ramsey,
we're doing great,
what a
man.
good guy.
We're loving life down here.
Love it, man. Dude, so jumping right into it, man, how are you feeling knowing how close your matchup is with Chuckles? It's like 0.35. Like, that's insane.
Yeah.
How are you feeling, man?
It's tough because, number one, that's about as close as it gets. I think the closest one I remember seeing in this league, I think, was 0.25 points, I think.
Jeez.
Which is insane. So to be 0.35 away, and I have had a bad history of losing these tight matchups due to stat corrections. Like I couldn't go back and figure it out. I didn't have time to kind of dive in, but my gut's telling me it's been at least 4 matchups in the past couple years in particular that I've lost on matchups like this. So I'm not as nervous as I thought I'd be, because I just, again, the little bit I was able to tell, I think I'll be okay. But I say that, and of course it'll be a 5-point swing in favor of Chuck, and now I'm 1-1.
Well, and Luke, one of those matchups that you're referring to, I believe, was actually against Chuck, wasn't it, several years back?
That sounds right. I mean, it makes sense for why I just have a deep, low-grade hatred against him. But no, I think it was. That's tough.
Dude, I think you had 2 stat corrections last year alone. Like,
yes.
which is insane. Yeah. Like, you never see that.
You beat Iceman by 0.05 points last year.
That's insane, man.
A lot of really close ones.
Okay, so wait, even tighter than 0.25, 0.05.
Jeez, man.
Oh, that's crazy. Okay.
That's wild.
So with your rivalry that you have with Chuck, and I say the term rivalry, I don't know what else to call it really. You mentioned it. There's a low grade hatred there. I think it's a mutual low grade hatred there. Based on his comments last week, do you feel any sort of pride in winning this matchup in particular?
I will have pride, but I think a better word truly is relief, because Chuck is good at fantasy football and he knows it, which is what stirs me up the most. That stirs me up the most. That's why I affectionately will have to periodically tell him to just shut the hell up.
Absolutely. Well, with that win, you're now 2-0. And that is got to be one of the best starts you've had to a season ever. Maybe the first time ever. I don't know.
I had a good start last season. I don't remember if it was 2-0, but I know I had a few good wins the first few weeks. And yeah, that's good. I mean, here's the deal. I feel good about my team. It wasn't like I thought I got an A+ draft. I thought it was a solid B. I was happy, but just the way that the cards fell is obviously how you have to draft at perceived value. And I feel pleased with what I got. I think obviously I went with receiver heavy, which was not my plan going into the draft, but that's how it fell. And this is a boomer bust team. I mean, it really is, because when you look at it, AJ Brown has 9 total points for me the first 2 weeks, which is crazy. And I don't regret drafting him, by the way. I think that they're realizing, like, hey, we've got to get him the ball. Because, I mean, I think everyone saw it. It was on the highlight reel. But that one catch he made from, 5 yards out, one-handed behind the back, I mean, that was incredible.
Incredible.
That was incredible. Jalen Waddle is actually doing well. Every single day I get a notification that he's questionable for the next game, but he's finds a way to play. And then Brock Bowers, same thing, but he's a stud and still recovering from some injuries. Calvin Ridley, they got a rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
And I drafted Ward because I think he's good. I think he'll be fine, but that's going to just take some time because I still think Calvin Ridley's elite. I really do. He just had terrible quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then Stephon Diggs, James, I know how you feel about him because I've had Diggs, you've had Diggs, and that was hard for me to draft. But I just felt I wanted that kind of connection with Drake May, and I think because I believe in Drake May that Stephon Diggs will actually have a decent season. He's still got more to prove, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Well, I think he's gonna mature as a dad or future dad here, and hopefully be good for you.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, no, Luke, looking over your team, man, like I like your team. Obviously with right, like that's just absolutely incredible, to have him 2 years in a row. But then having, again, you mentioned Calvin Ridley. I think the farther we get the season, the better he's going to get because the better Cam Ward is going to get.
Agreed.
Powers forming that connection with G. AJ Brown, he's going to be good. Dylan, as he's a rookie, so as he gets going, right? So looking at your team, man, like, dude, that's a strong team. Like that's a strong team.
Yeah. Well, again, I feel the same way, but it's going to take time to pan out, and I'm willing to do that because what I've learned the hard way is just like any sports team, you really do want to start peaking at the very end. That's really all that matters because I feel okay that I'll get into the playoffs. I'm not really concerned about that at this time, but we'll see, man. I mean, we'll see. There's a lot of unknown there, but that's what I love, only being 2 weeks into this.
Yeah.
Everything we thought after draft night, a lot of it's already out the window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Elliott's team.
Was there any hesitation, speaking of draft night, was there any hesitation in your mind when you took Saquon, given the massive year that he had last season?
No, because I said it in the group chat the other day, and I really did mean it 100%. Like when he's healthy, and he generally is pretty healthy, especially for a running back. When he's healthy, I mean, the guy is unstoppable. Unstoppable. I mean, his average carry average yards per carry, I don't know what it is, but I know it's relatively high. And he's just so fun to watch. And that's kind of how I like having players is it doesn't always work out that way, but generally if I can, I just want guys that I like watching that I know have exciting opportunities to make big plays. So
well, I can tell you after drafting Bryce Young, I wish that I had taken that strategy and drafted players that I enjoyed watching play. Because it just makes the Sunday afternoon experience that much more awful when I know that my fantasy team is suffering and my real team is suffering. I can't stand it.
Yeah.
Well, see that makes it that much worse because you're drafting a player from your team that you like watching, so it's like a double whammy.
Yeah.
Right.
Which I normally don't do because of that. I normally don't risk it because of that, but I took a chance this year and I'm already regretting it. And I know I will the rest of the season.
That's awesome.
We're a complete dumpster fire.
How do you feel going into week 3 going against Billy Buck? He has the highest points for currently. So it's gonna be a big matchup.
So I'll answer it with this way because I'm thinking about, okay, who are the best teams in the league and who are the worst? Jose immediately came in as, I think he's the best team in the league. And I've thought that since week 1, actually. Week 1, no one knows anything, but I was like, okay, he's one to watch. And then he did it again this week. But like when I look at his team, Jared Goff, I actually really wanted Jared Goff, but the draft order I was in, there was no way I could get him. So that was unfortunate, but I was seriously really going for Goff. Kyron Williams, he's the guy to me that puts up great points and is very under the radar. James Cook, what's weird to me is all these analysts are saying, oh, he's going to revert back and have a crappy year. And I'm like, how is that possible? Because the guy's explosive. He's athletic. He's young. And I think he's a fantastic player. I won't go down every player, but his receiving core, solid. Ferguson, underrated. I think good tight end. And Dak Prescott loves a good tight end because the guy is very mid. So, even the defense is solid. So I think he really is the team to beat this year. I really do have him as my top manager and team in our league currently. So I'm nervous. I'm very nervous. I mean, even though he's got I think he's still got a couple slots to fill on his roster. Oh no, he filled them. Never mind. So I mean, it's pretty close. This matchup, based on
and the crazy part going into this matchup is that he's got Devontae Smith, you got AJ Brown, and whenever Jalen Hurts is throwing the ball, it's going to one of those two. And so it's either when Hurts is throwing, either you're going to be getting points or Billy Buck's going to be getting points. Like, regardless, that's going to happen. So that even adds the intrigue a little bit too, and I love that. Absolutely love it.
I agree. Well, another thing too, to take that a layer deeper, I mean, if you've watched the Eagles the past 2 games, number one, they have barely thrown the ball. But when Jalen Hurts has thrown the ball, I think from what I've seen, Devontae's getting a lot more targets. And it's not going to be that way all season. So, like I said at the outset, I'm obviously AJ's done nothing, but I'm not really panicking about it because he's just such an elite receiver.
Yeah, and we talked about just now how Jalen Hurts just isn't throwing the football. The Eagles' offense looks so different than it did last season, and I think this just goes to show that. So both A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, they both have 9 targets, but 8 of A.J. Brown's came in week 2. He got 1 target all of week 1. Probably fussed a little bit during the week with the coaching staff, and they made sure to target him a little bit more. But to just have 18 targets between those 2 guys across 2 weeks of the season total is insane. I mean, CeeDee Lamb, I think, had 14 targets last week.
Jeez.
Wow.
The Eagles' offense just has not needed to do anything but run. I mean, it goes back to how good Barkley is. Which,
by the way, too, I'm not an Eagles fan. I obviously have 2 of their star players, so in that regard I am. But, they're not going to keep getting away with this false start on the tush push. They did it twice in the last game, blatant, and they didn't
line up offsides. Yeah,
that was
lining up offsides, false starts. The tush push is a disaster.
Are the
NFL's letting them get away with this?
Are the Eagles the new Chiefs?
Yeah.
I think the Chiefs might still be the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs still have their black magic a little bit, but I think we now have the Eagles and the Chiefs that are taking advantage.
The 0-2 Chiefs. I don't know.
Yeah.
But the Chiefs are only 0-2 because they have literally nobody healthy. I mean, it's Patty Mahomes, and that's it. I mean, that wide receiving core is a disaster. And Travis Kelce is not going to get better this season.
No, he's way too distracted.
He's a dumpster fire. Luke, give us the top 3 in your mind of the league, and give us bottom 3, dude.
Yeah. The top is, I said Jose. I stand by that.
Yeah.
This next one kills me. It kills me. And it'll be something that he may not be able to sleep the night that he hears this recording because he'll be so happy, but it's Kurth. His team is very good, even though he's had some injuries. He's the other one I'm kind of nervous about. And then 3, I'm going to be, a little bit of a tool and pick myself because I do have that level of belief in my team.
Brand.
I know.
Expect anything else.
I had to.
Expect anything else.
No.
Surprised you put yourself all the way down at 3. That's crazy.
It's that fake churchy humility. You got to put yourself at 3.
That's right.
No,
That's right.
The first shall be last, and the last shall be first. So really, he's putting himself first, even though he's putting himself last. That's what it is.
That's right. And that's the exact kind of example of humility I want to be to everyone in my life, just to kind of lead them down that path of righteousness.
I think the mystery as to why everyone in his community group bailed and 30 minutes before it started is becoming a little bit more clear.
It's shocking why I can't get people to show up. Hey, honorable mentions though, for real. I think I'm looking back at the rosters. I think Noel's always a contender. He has great draft strategies, and is a good manager throughout the season. And another one that I think you guys are going to be surprised at, but I actually really like Iceman's team. I think he's got a good roster. I really do. Now he's got some gaps for sure. Don't get me wrong, but like, because the other thing why that's changed is like, if you look at Travis Etienne, everyone thought he was going to suck win this year, but he's been pretty good. And there's no signs of that slowing down, especially after the Tank Bigsby trade. He's got Neighbors. He's got McMillan out of Carolina, Keenan Allen. So Trey McBride and Ertz, who are both studs at tight ends. And he's got a good defense. So I know that's kind of probably out of left field, but I like his team.
Yeah.
No, I completely agree. I think Iceman's got one of the better teams in this league, and I think he's extremely unfortunate to be 0-2. Obviously, week 1, he lost because of the weekly update penalty, which caused a little bit of a stir. But then last week,
why was that controversial, by the way? That was so clear for such a long time. We had to have a vote on that? I mean, what is this?
Well, yeah, I know. That was insane. That was so stupid. But then even in week 2, Iceman goes up against a really, really hot Billy Buck. Yeah. And I'm so happy for Billy Buck, by the way. I'm so happy for him. I hope this sticks. But he's really unfortunate to be 0-2 right now.
I agree.
Second highest points for.
There you go. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know.
But you know what? Though, on the flip side of that, he had the lowest points in league history last season, finished 7-7. So maybe he's due for a little bit of bad luck.
I think this past weekend was the first ever scored 200 plus or over,
it had to
over
be.
Even 180 the first time ever.
Yeah.
And for him to lose to Billy Buck after scoring 200 plus, like that's insane.
I know. Well, the good news is that if this trend continues, he can kind of find mentorship and support from Brad, because Brad knows what it is like to just score, but just be a loser.
That'd be good mentorship. I think that'd be good for both of them. I think that'd be good.
Yeah.
We'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, that's the Heidi Trask way. Score 50 plus points, lose every time.
Heidi Trask.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, now you asked the worst teams. You asked the worst teams.
Bottom 3.
Because I was starting Gorillas. So this is easy for number 1. Corbin. It will be throughout the rest of the year. Just keep that slot at what it is. So really we care about 2 and 3. So number 2 for me is Wes. He lost to Corbin. I mean, honestly, straight to jail. Right away.
Straight to jail.
Jail.
So if I'm him, I am nervous. Like, I am starting to go to Costco and practice the hot dog eating a little bit.
That's tough.
Get ahead of it. And then third is I had to go with Rory here. Rory. I have so many notes on Rory and his team, dude. Rory scored 128 points in week 1. I mean, that's so low.
That was rough.
It's literally this funny to me. I'm crying tears. This is not fake. He scored 128 points in week 1. He only won week 2 because Dak had a decent game, which is like once in a blue moon, and then Jamar Chase absolutely went off.
Yeah.
He got lucky, and then he went against James, who had a terrible showing. Like
horrible.
That week. Like, your team played horrible, which is just bad luck. So, like, he really should be 0-2. And then I hate to do this because this is literally my own flesh and blood, but another honorable mention here is James. Like, your team is not in good shape, bro.
No, we're not in good shape at all.
And I hate
we're not in good shape at all. Yeah. I've already prepped my coworkers and told them, hey, I might need to call out of work a few days next year. You're not going to want to see me for a little bit.
Yeah.
If things go the way that I think they might go. I knew that I had a boom and bust team, and it's been bust so far. But here's the thing that I'm sticking to. And I got a trade offer, full transparency. I got a trade offer earlier today for Travion Henderson. And let's just say it was a joke of an offer. I mean, an absolute joke of an offer. Horrible value, no return whatsoever. Flat. It's not Corbin, but someone that thinks a lot like Corbin, admittedly. So Travion Henderson and Bill Krosky are two guys that I backed to finish the season really well, but I knew it'd be a slow start with them because they're rookies. I mean, they got to earn their keep, and it's just going to take a little bit of time. But once they hit, I've got solid receivers. I think I've got some good flex options. I think Bo Nix is going to pan out really well. Yeah. It's just going to take some time to get those guys going.
I think you're right. But that's the scary part is NFL teams now throwing the towel on guys so fast. Fast. So I don't know.
No, honestly, I'm just relieved not to be in the bottom three, and I'm sure that was out of kindness and grace, and may the Lord bless you for that. But I'm so relieved not to be in the bottom three.
Honorable mention. So.
I'll take it.
Which, by the way, too, I got to say this too, because Chris, you got punched in the mouth with that Burrow injury, because Burrow, obviously, to me, is a top 5 QB.
Yeah.
And that was, to have that in week 2, which sucks. Yeah. And then Aaron Jones, IR. These are the moments where it's like, do you really stick to your guns or pivot? Yeah. And I've been there.
Playing for week 17. I just got one win.
Well, I think with all of this too, the teams we're talking about, I think we're going to start to see some pretty significant trading activity in the next 3 weeks. Starting now in the next 3 weeks, I think we're going to see a lot of it.
I think this year, with the punishment being what it is, I think people are on way more pins and needles with this punishment than last year. And so I think we could see teams, to your point, Luke, I think we could see teams start to make some, really being active on the trade market over these next few weeks if they're winless or only have one win because of the punishment at the end of the year. I think it's people are way more on pins and needles than
Well, I completely agree, and I'll add on to that because last season anecdotally, I don't know the numbers, but anecdotally, I felt like there were virtually no trades last year, and at least not anything meaningful.
Yeah, I definitely feel like trades are down. I think part of that is we have, and I'm just going to call it out here, we have more and more people in the league that are using online tools to help put together trades and try to gauge value, and they just are terrible. They just don't work. And we're sticking by these things. And so now, instead of looking at a trade and saying, yeah, that's good value or it's not good value, you're running it through this system that's free that may or may not work. And you're saying oh yeah, this trade makes total sense. I'm going to trade you Alec Pierce, and you're going to give me Jahmyr Gibbs because this website says that's probably good value. All right, yeah, Jahmyr Gibbs was a top 3 overall pick, and you picked up that guy off waivers. Yeah. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
You also you got to look at how your team is actually using someone.
Right.
There's so many people that trading, a starter versus someone on the bench just doesn't make any sense.
No.
As all these people that I'm talking to looking for quarterbacks, I'm talking to all you guys, so that's a special shout out right there.
Yeah.
You know who
it's
you are.
tough. Well, here's another thing too. There's 2 other observations I'll note just about our league now that I've been in this several years. One is the draft is the most important thing, and it's not even close because there's no depth. It's almost impossible to add value through waivers unless you have a freak thing where someone is truly a sleeper that no one had on their radars, because even if they had a whiff of it, they would have drafted them in the last 5 rounds. And then the other thing, and you guys will laugh at this because I've done a complete 180 here, that whole IDPs, that is the secret sauce to this league and to a championship. And that's why I was the first one to draft any defensive player this year. And I have 0 regrets with that because those guys can put up sometimes more consistent numbers than, running back 2s or even wide receiver 2 positions. Yeah. Every week. And so I think people are figuring that out too, because I think a lot of teams have decent defensive teams, except for Corbin, who's, there's only so many rookie defensive players available.
Well, you are actually the number 1 scoring defense through our 2 weeks, so the strategy's working out for you.
I hope the boys can continue that. Okay, I got one more thing I got to say too, because this is just killing me. I got to go back to the whole Rory thread. Let me read my notes here. This just happened within the past few days. Waiver wire. Rory paid $20 for Parker Washington, who has won 11-point game randomly. And it's also important to note that no one else put a single bid in at all for Washington. But he got him for $20. Rory also paid $15 for linebacker Devin Bush.
Wait,
he also tried to pay a 15. He also tried to pay another $15 for Tyquan Thornton, but then lost him due to no available roster slots. The same thing happened, $5 for Jalen Ramsey. I mean, this guy's out here acting like the federal government, just throwing money at something to fix it, spending money he doesn't even have.
Do we know how much money he has left?
I'll look, but Chris will probably have it faster than me.
Because didn't he spend like $40 last week?
Yes, absolutely. So, all right, I've got two things to add into that little bit on what Luke just said. So, yeah, so there were two guys that I won this week in waivers that Rory had outbid me on, but didn't have any roster spots available. One of them, of course, was Tyquan Thornton. So I reached out to Rory this morning after I noticed that and said, hey, Rory, couldn't help but notice you bid $15 on Tyquan Thornton. Seems like you might, really want him. Are you interested in making a trade? Do you want Tyquan Thornton? And he said no. He said, no, he's not really somebody that I want. So why would you bid $15 on him?
Dude.
Maybe he's just trying the slow burn.
He has $10 left, by the way.
Dude, to go back to the point, Luke, about freaking what's his name, Parker Washington.
Yes,
he dropped him for Juju Smith-Schuster, who he spent $5 on last week.
No, I didn't see that. No, you can't make this up.
Oh, Juju had 1 point this past week. Rory spent $25 on him afterwards, and now he drops him for Parker Washington, who had 11 points this
That's incredible.
Okay,
I did not see that.
Another thing I got to say about Parker Washington, now that I'm looking at his game log, this is incredible, guys. This just gets better and better. Against the lowly Carolina Panthers defense, and we all know how bad that defense is, set records last year for being the worst in the league. He was on the field for 26% of snaps. He got 0 targets, 0 points. But he returned 1 punt for 7 yards.
Boom.
Elite playmaker, Parker Washington. $20.
And that's worth every penny of the $20.
Worth every penny. And Keyshawn Butte, who we talked about last week, by the way, 1 target.
Booty.
Oh.
1 target.
8.9, was it 8.1 points, right?
8.1 points for the $81 that Brad spent on him.
Did get a touchdown.
Beautiful. Right? He did get a touchdown. His one catch on the 1 target happened to be a touchdown.
So funny.
Maybe he was successful, but it seems like we're overpaying right now out of panic.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
100% agree. Oh man.
Man, I love it.
Hey, should we just what do we say? We jump into a little weekly preview of some of the matchups we got.
Let's do it
in week 3. Let's see. Let's start off.
Luke, do you have time to stay on?
Yeah, I'll stay on. My wife's out doing stuff, so until she gets back.
Perfect.
I'm hanging out.
Solid. Dude, let's start off with game of the week. Commish, who do we got as game of the week this week, man?
Yeah, so this week there's one matchup that really stands out to me. We've actually talked about it briefly already, but I think it's got to be Billy Buck versus Maverick.
Yeah.
I think this is a massive game. I think the winner of this carries a lot of momentum into the rest of the season. Jose could either find himself at 1-2, which puts a real damper on a strong start so far.
Mm-hmm.
But then also we have Maverick who could be sitting at 3-0. I mean, there's a lot that's riding on this game.
Yeah. No, I think that'll be a really good one, especially with how well Billy Buck's team scored last week. right? Putting up 235 or 240 points. And then Luke, we were talking about your team, man, how strong it is. I think that's going to be a really, really fun matchup to watch. I think starting Thursday, right? Because Billy Buck has James Cook on Thursday.
Yep.
So I feel like that'll kind of set the tone going into the weekend for that matchup.
Well, and here's something else to watch in that matchup is Jared Goff plays on Monday Night Football, and it's against Baltimore. All right, now Baltimore has been leaking points, and we saw what Josh Allen did to them Week 1.
Yeah.
That could be a game where Jared Goff legitimately puts up 35, 40 points.
Right.
Yeah. All in probably the second half as well.
All in probably the second half. So, I mean, Maverick needs to have a really sizable lead heading into Monday Night Football in order to feel comfortable. And even then, you just never know. Right. Jared Goff could put up a ton of points like he did last week.
Yeah, no, I like it. Chris, what any matchups stand out to you, man, as we're looking into week?
Yeah. I'm looking at the Figueroa Bowl, so Commish versus his father.
Yeah.
The the projections are not very favorable, but hey, some games you got to show up for. I think hopefully James can get his first win. We kind of saw Josh Allen Week 1 go crazy. Obviously a great game in real life and put up a lot of points. But then a game like against Miami or against the Jets could be really, really slow just because it's going to be 21-0 in the first quarter.
Yeah.
So be very interesting to see how the team performs. Also, Dolphin Death coming off the low score, the pooper of the week with 134 points. So beat Rory by almost 10 points. So have to see how his team bounces back, see how Commish's teams bounce back, but I think that'll be an interesting one.
Yeah, same to note with that, that one kind of similar Thursday through Monday, right? Because Dolphin Death, he's got Josh Allen starting on Thursday, and then he's got David Montgomery on Monday night. But again, I mean, Josh Allen playing against a horrendous Miami Dolphins team, just horrendous defensively. I mean, if Allen goes out and just kills it, right, and just balls out, I mean, that could spell really bad things, Commish, for you starting early. On the flip side, Buffalo could get out to such an early lead that they're just handing the ball off the rest of the game, and he only puts up 20, 30 points, whatever, which could be in your favor there, Commish.
And that's Josh, he has a broken nose. He's wearing a visor. And even when he's perfectly healthy, they've pulled him in the second half if they're up. So, Josh is kind of a wild card. Unfortunately, his greatness is working against him in fantasy.
Yeah, and that's really my only hope. I mean, the Dolphins, I think, put up 30 points in Week 2. And so I hope that the Week 1 Dolphins really shows up in this one because Bo Nix has a matchup against the Chargers, who have proven to be one of the best defenses in the NFL over the first 2 weeks of the season. And I could see Josh Allen, if that game against Miami turns into a little bit of a shootout, I could see Josh Allen easily tripling whatever Bo Nix is able to put up.
Sure.
Which, by the way, I want to chime in on the Chargers, dude. I think they're a great team, and I freaking love Herbert. He's got one of the most beautiful throws of any quarterback I've ever seen. I don't know why. I love watching the guy.
He plays the game so fun. Like watching him back to, taking guys on your team that you just love watching play the game. Like he's so fun to watch play the game.
Yes.
Well, and it's incredible to me to think about, the Chargers have been a run-first offense for several seasons now, even under Greg Roman, of course, who in Baltimore had a really great scheme running the football and utilized different runners. The Chargers are a pass-first offense right now for the first time in a long time, and it's working. They're winning games doing it. Yep. We talked about Marion Hampton earlier and, all the upside that he's got, and I still think he's got great upside, but he really hasn't been that much of a factor so far in the season because of how effective Justin Herbert's been throwing the football, and he's been spreading it out too to at least 4 different receivers that are viable fantasy options at this point. It's incredible to watch.
Yeah. When he hit Quentin Johnson with that 60-yard bomb in the first half, I was like, dude, Herbert's going to lead me to a win against Ricky. Like, Herbert is leading me there. And then he kind of had a dud of a second half, which was a bummer. But I was like, this is happening. This is happening. My guy Herbert, man, he's a stud, absolute stud. Luke, what about you, dude? Looking at week 3, any matchups kind of standing out to you?
Yeah, I'm pulling it back up because I don't want to miss anybody. I think that the one that's going to be interesting, and I'm going to take a very different approach here, is I think Kurth might beat Corbin by 100 points. So, one to look out for.
Oh, I hope so. That'd be amazing. Corbin, just if you're watching this or listening to this, your team still stinks regardless of what Scatabo and King Tut did. Your team still stinks. We're standing on that.
I agree.
I do want to highlight something that we talked about with Corbin's team from last week. We talked about the Brashard Smith pickup, and if you don't remember what that is, Brashard Smith is a rookie running back for the Chiefs that Corbin drafted in the 15th round of the draft. He dropped him to waivers on September 7th, and then September 9th, he added him back for $3. And this is following a game in which Brashard Smith had 0 rushes, 0 catches, but returned 2 kicks. And Corbin, once again, proved us all wrong, used his genius to be able to nail another guy that just has so much upside. Brashard Smith picked up 0.3 points this week. All right. So, again, you can't double or triple 0. But, I mean, what an insane improvement for him having 1 carry for 2 yards. I mean, just a great ad by Corbin.
The upside is there. I will have to say, Corbin, you had the luckiest ad. You got the luckiest win of the week by last minute deciding to add Parker Romo, the kicker for the Falcons.
Oh.
Yes.
The luckiest win, the luckiest ad. Getting 20 points and leading you to a victory over Wes. Lucky. I don't even want to hear anything, bro. Just unbelievable luck.
Yeah. Can we talk about the bad luck, the commissioner's curse that he put on me and Wes last week? The whole bet. I bet my house on or not Wes. Yeah, Wes. I bet my house on Corbin losing, and same with me beating whoever I didn't beat. Yeah. So thanks for that, James.
That was tough.
Well, why don't I go ahead? Well, Chris, you played Brad. I mean, anyone would have thought that one. Why don't I go ahead and let me curse 2 more people this week? I think if I were a betting man on this, and Noel's really the expert on this, so I apologize for even taking the spotlight away from him. If I were to make 2 bets, 2 sure things that I'm looking at this week, and this one's tough, and I'm sorry if this doesn't work out in your favor. I would bet the house that Ricky beats Chris. A banged up Chris, a hopeless Chris, a QB-less Chris. Ricky's in great form. I really feel like Ricky's a lock to win that game. And then the other one that I'm a little bit more excited to lock in is Chuck to beat Rory.
Yeah, I think that one is for sure going to happen.
I hope your curses continue to go the way they've been going. I think I saw the line in me and Ricky's matchup. I'm plus 100, so we'll see how that goes.
Now, John, you've got an interesting matchup. You got Tank for Arch, Wes Gretzky. He's coming off a loss to Corbin. We had touted him as one of the best teams in the league after week 1, and I guess the wheels just kind of fell off for him. King Henry regressed. How do you feel about that matchup?
Not great. Not great, because my receivers, so T. Higgins losing Joe Burrow, that sucked. DJ Moore has not shown out well at all. He sucks. More of the same POS. Cortland Sutton, what the heck, man? I almost caught as many passes as you did, dude. I'm sitting on my couch eating Cheetos, brother. You suck, Denver Bronco POS. Like it just drove me up a wall. And so, yeah, so not great going into this week. My where I do feel good is that he's starting Mac Jones this week, and Mac Jones starting in San Fran. I'm like, okay, I think I got that one under control. And then he's also starting De'Ami Brown as in a flex spot. Xavier Worthy, that Kansas City offense has been a nightmare. So like I'm looking at the matchups, like in game matchups, and I'm like, okay, I think my matchups overtake his. But dude, my receivers have sucked, and even my running backs have not played all too well. So just a bunch of POSs, man.
Yeah,
so not feeling great. But looking at the roster, and right now he's projected to win right now, and I'm like, all right, that's fantastic.
Yeah,
that's great. I'll just go. I'll go to 1 and 2. I had a couple hot dogs earlier today. I don't know if I should be prep or not, but yeah, I'm not feeling great.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Wes could pull off the upset there. I definitely think starting Mac Jones is something that, and he's been forced into it. I mean, Justin Fields is hurt; he can't play, but that doesn't fill me with great confidence, especially considering that Justin Herbert is your QB. I think Justin Herbert Mac Jones matchup right there could be one that's pretty pivotal in this one, and should give you the win.
And the fact that he's got Derrick Henry, like Derrick Henry could easily go off for like 30, 40 points every week. I just
well, and that's going to be another matchup. Comes down to Monday night because you've got Derrick Henry and Jahmyr Gibbs both on Monday night playing against each other. That's huge.
That'll be huge. That'll be huge. I think so. A matchup that I'm looking forward to is DJ against Iceman. DJ
huge.
DJ being 2-0, Iceman being 0-2. If DJ wins and he goes to 3-0, and Iceman goes to 0-3, oh my goodness! Like that just, oh man, that's huge.
So as far as regular season goes, I mean, we all know how hot DJ finished things off last year.
Yeah.
For him to have continued that win streak already is something that I did not see coming at all. I don't. No offense to DJ whatsoever. But we're talking now. He's won 10 straight regular season matchups.
Jeez.
I feel like he's got the edge in this one, but also for Iceman again, he's been extremely unfortunate not to be honestly 2-0 right now. For him to lose and go 0-3 would be shocking. As good as his team has been.
Very. But his team is also good enough to where, say he does go 0-3, he could easily rattle off like 6, 7, 8 wins in a row. Like.
Yeah,
no problem whatsoever.
I mean, he could easily be this year's DJ. I mean, he's averaging 192 points per game right now.
Right.
Like that's nuts to be 0-2.
Right. Agreed.
And then last matchup that we have on the docket for this week, the North Carolina Bowl, Noel versus Brad. Who do we got, Luke? What do you think about that matchup?
You said Noel versus Brad?
Yep.
It's tight on projections, and again, I think it is pretty evenly matched because you have some guys that are playing well and are boom or bust on both sides of the ball. Another thing, too, that's been interesting, Javonte Williams, that's another guy that I really wanted to get, but the cards just did not fall to me, and he's been a stud.
He's played so
in Dallas.
He's played so well.
Yeah, and then but then Tucker Kraft, yet another target that I knew I probably wasn't going to get because he's a beast too, and he's proven it. And here's the other thing: Nico Collins has really, I'm pulling up his stats, done virtually nothing relative to his ceiling. So I think this is an interesting one. This is seriously a toss-up. I'm going to have to flip a coin on this one. I'm actually going to lean just because I think it'd be kind of wild, but I think Brad may actually edge it out this week. But that's really a coin flip.
Yeah, I was looking at both rosters, and I pulled up Javonte Williams. He's the number 2 running back in fantasy.
That is nuts.
That's crazy.
He's killing it.
That's
21.5 points, 25 points.
That's unreal.
In weeks 1 and then 2.
Absolutely unreal. And I think one thing to note with Noel's team is Justin Jefferson, he's going to have Carson Wentz throwing the ball. Which Carson Wentz are we going to see, right? Like, how much of an improvement or even downfall from J.J. McCarthy, even though J.J. McCarthy has not looked good, right, over these last 2 games. But, what is that going to do for Justin Jefferson going into this game? And, same with BTJ from Noel's team. BTJ has not looked good these first 2 weeks of the season. Down in Jacksonville, he hasn't looked good. I think it's an absolute toss-up between these 2. I think it's going to be a really, really fun one. It'll be interesting to see at what time Brad starts putting people back up on the trading block. That I'm excited for that. That's what I'm most excited for.
So one thing about Noel is actually before I go into that, John, who are you picking to win though?
I think I'm going Noel. I think BTJ. I think Justin Jefferson is actually going to have a really good game with Carson Wentz. I think BTJ is going to start to bounce back a little bit. I think Javonte Williams is going to kind of start to fall back down to earth. But I think he's going to have a good game. I'm taking Noel.
Yeah, I agree with you about Wentz. I think Wentz is going to be an upgrade in Minnesota, and I think they're going to be very grateful that McCarthy ended up getting hurt because he has not looked good over the first 2 weeks. I think BTJ is going to be fine. Noel has, the number 2 running back in Javonte Williams. He's also got the number 2 quarterback in the NFL so far, and that's Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
Who 35 points week 1, 31 points week 2. I mean, if you would have told me that when we trapped Noel into taking the only 2 QBs that were left in the draft, he'd end up with Aaron Rodgers, who, by the way, looks pretty good.
Yeah.
And then Daniel Jones, and they would both, absolutely pan out for him. I wouldn't have believed it.
Which, let's talk about that real quick, too. He's so far continued to start Jones. When is he going to switch to – or Rodgers, when is he going to switch to Jones? Because that's a tricky one there.
I think the matchup with New England this week for Aaron Rodgers is too juicy to give up.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Rodgers puts up incredible points, but I think Rodgers 33 points in week 1 gave us unrealistic expectations for him because I don't think we realized fully how bad the Jets defense really was.
Sure.
I mean, the Jets defense looks terrible, and they were really good last year. So I think that complicates things. But if I'm Noel after that New England game, Pittsburgh plays Minnesota, then has a bye, and then they play Cleveland, Cincinnati, Green Bay, and then Indianapolis. I think after that, starting week 5, if Jones keeps this up, Jones is my starter at least for the next 4 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, because those are some tough.
Now, yeah, he's got a tough schedule coming up. Now, with all that being said, I think I'm going to give the edge to Brad this week. I think Brad pulls off the upset.
Wow.
If Jaden Daniels plays. It's questionable right now. I don't know, Chris. Have you heard anything on that?
Didn't practice today, which I actually think looks good for him playing, but it's still very up in the air. Definitely going to be game time decision there.
Okay, I just feel like if he doesn't play, the drop from Jaden Daniels to Spencer Rattler is going to be way too much to overcome. But if Jaden Daniels plays, I think Big Bad Brad pulls off the win.
Wow, I'm sure that's good. That's good for Brad to hear. Brad, if you hear this, I'm sure that's good for you. Sure, you probably need that.
Yeah, good for Brad to hear. Great for Noel to hear. Commissioner's curse is going to be a real thing this week, guarantee it.
That's awesome, guys. Any last thoughts as we wrap up? Kind of recapping last week, moving into next week. Any final thoughts from any you 3 guys?
On my side, I got one thing. We got to be more realistic with trades, fellas. Step it up. Stop using these free websites that have no idea what they're talking about. Look at the
pay for Fantasy Pros. That's the only thing.
Call them out.
Come on, Brad. You know better. You know better than that, Brad.
Come on, Brad. Be better. Be better. No, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I'm excited to see what trades and what things are going to be happening, especially after this week. Because if we got teams that are 1-2 or 0-3, people are going to start looking to move. So I'm excited. I'm so pumped to see what happens after this week. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm with you. And I got just 3 things to say as we wrap up tonight. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engines.
Yes.
Let's go. You just got me pumped up, man. It's 10:30 at night. Come on, brother. What are we doing?
I was going to say, I almost feel like Thursday Night Football should be kicking off right now after that.
Yes.
I know. Chris, any
exactly
final
right.
thoughts, man?
Say a prayer for me. I'm hoping to plan for week 17 at this point.
Love
I'll see you there, Chris.
All right.
Love it. Well, guys, this was awesome. Appreciate you. Luke, appreciate you sticking on with us the whole entire time, man. This was a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
Until next week.
Well, it's a dream come true. It's my pleasure.
This was awesome. Best of luck this upcoming week.
All right, fellas. We'll see ya.
Peace.
Yep.